Hey guys, do you ever feel quite overwhelmed and frustrated with the way your days may be going at times, where you feel like there's an insurmountable amount of things and tasks that you want to get done, and you actually feel like you're getting further away from your goals than bridging the gap and getting closer? I know I've had these feelings sometimes, and it can be really frustrating. So what I want to do is share with you 3 key principles. They're going to give you clarity of mind, they're going to make you feel more at peace, they're going to give you greater conviction in going about doing the things you want to do, and also help you to be more productive as you're getting things done. So the first thing is it's controlling your focus. What I mean by that is it's so easy to get lost in our thoughts. We may be thinking about the past, things that have happened, things that have already been done, and we can't change those. So as long as we're living in the past, we're not going to be shifting things in the present. The other thing we can be doing sometimes with our thoughts, we get lost and we're living in the future. The what ifs, the what could happen, what could go wrong, what may not happen. And again, this takes us out of the present moment, which is where we are able to create the results that are going to create our future. So by controlling our focus, we do one of 2 things. We're either focused on moving towards the goal, or we're focused on moving away from pain. And too often people are so focused in trying to avoid pain because they're scared of failure, they're scared of making mistakes, they're scared of rejection, and therefore all their energy is going towards trying to avoid pain and discomfort. And what this does, that keeps us stuck. We end up procrastinating, we end up feeling frustrated because we're not actually moving towards our goals. And the opposite to doing this though is shifting our focus to where we want to be going. So if we're focusing our energy on where do we want to be, what sort of future do we want to have, where do we want to be, how do we want to be, what sort of things do we want to be achieving, what do we want to be sharing with other people, it's in the long-term focus that we'll be more resilient and have tenacity and perseverance to get through short-term discomfort. So number 1 is that as long as we're controlling our focus on where we want to be going rather than where we don't want to be going, then we're going to be all the more likely to be taking proactive steps towards that direction. Number 2 is having a long-term focus. Focusing on the long term, where we want to be, how we want to live, who we want to be, what sort of life we want to experience, means we'll be all the more likely to sacrifice short-term pleasures. Now, there's nothing more debilitating than a person's progress than trying to focus on short-term satisfaction. That instant gratification, which seems to be a big epidemic in today's society. We want results so fast, we want them yesterday. Yet by doing that, we also crave as much comfort and safety as possible. And when our driving force behind what we're doing is seeking comfort and safety, then we're not going to be as willing to take risks and step outside our comfort zone. And it's only by stepping outside our comfort zones that we stretch, we grow, we expand. And that's where possibilities and opportunities present themselves. Without stretching our comfort zones, then we stay in the zone of what we already know. But if we keep doing what we already know, then we're not expanding our knowledge, our skills, we're not learning new things, and we'll remain all the more stagnant, which nothing grows in this space. So again, number 2 is focusing on the long term. Have a compelling vision for where we want to be. I have clients do this exercise all the time where I'll have them create an inspiring vision for where they'd love to be in 5 years' time. So you could have a go with yourself. Look at the different areas of life, whether it be health, your business, your financial situation, your relationships, intimate and family, your social life, your mental well-being and intellectual development. Have a look at all the different areas of life and create a vision for what you would love your life to look like in 5 years, even 10 years, even 20 years. Dare to play big. With these compelling visions, we'll be all the more likely to make mistakes, make an error, stumble a little, learn, because in 6 months, the stretch we can achieve, it will amount to so much in that 2, 3, 4 year, 5 year when we compound the learnings that we acquire along the way. Without this long-term sight, then we're focused on the short term. And in the short term, again, we crave comfort and safety, but nothing grows there. So that's number 2. Number 3, the principle is practice gratitude. So long as we're focusing on what we don't have or what hasn't happened yet or what's lacking, it takes us out of a state of gratitude, and we can experience all kinds of negative emotions: frustration, stress, dissatisfaction, discontentment. Whereas through practicing gratitude, it creates an abundance mentality where we are grateful for the things that we do have. And when we're focusing on the things that we do have, then we become focused on making progress. We're not so caught up in procrastinating on trying to be perfect and trying to get things right straight away, and comparing ourselves to other people who we deem are more successful than us, which I covered that topic in last week's video. So if you haven't checked it out yet, please do. When we have an attitude of gratitude, then we can't experience negative emotions at the same time. So when we have an attitude of gratitude, then also it's about creating a priority list. So when we're feeling stressed and overwhelmed and we shift to what is going right, what we can influence, then creating what's the highest priority actions we could be taking. And if we take the one smallest step in the direction that we want to be going, then we create progress. And the quickest way to increase our mood is by achieving a task. There's plenty of studies around the dopamine effect and the positive hormones that rush to the brain, etc., when we complete a task and make progress. So when we have an attitude of gratitude, and therefore we focus on our highest priority tasks, then we will make steady progress. And I've always said that imperfect action always beats perfect procrastination. So they're just 3 simple steps that can get us out of overwhelm, get us out of stress, and put us into the present moment where we can control our focus, we can be thinking long term, as well as practicing gratitude. And they're going to help us to have greater peace of mind and clarity in moving towards the direction we want to be going. So I hope that has offered you some valuable insight and given you some strategies you'll be able to take away so that you can achieve more progress in the direction you want to be going. I'd love to hear your thoughts, love to hear your comments, and I'll see you in the next video, and sending you much love in the meantime.